2020 on Thursday. We are headed to the train that we were talking about last night.
It's called the Royal Gorge Railway.
So if you don't get there, our tickets are for 12:30, and if you don't get there by 12:15, then you don't have a spot. And we were gonna try and find a place to eat beforehand, and we just kind of Hayden was caught up in a meeting, so we didn't get to leave when we wanted to. So we're just gonna pray that either we can get there and hurry up and go through drive-thru real quick, or find something on the way. So we just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, kind of introduce ourselves, because we realized we hadn't really done that. So obviously my name's Tori, maiden name McNair, but married name Nolan.
I'm Hayden Nolan.
We probably met in 2014, 2015, because Mara, his little sister, and I were best friends all throughout high school. And we didn't really ever think anything of each other until about the end of 2019, and then things just progressed from there. We're not going to go too much into that because that's not what this video is about. When we did get married, we kind of toyed with the idea of an RV because we both knew we wanted to travel, and that was going to be very important to us. And then it kind of just got away from us. We obviously were just married, so there was a lot of other things that we had to figure out first. We went on a trip with Hayden's family to Arizona, Sedona, Arizona specifically, last summer. And that just kind of made us realize how much we really wanted to see and how much we really hadn't seen, because neither of us have really been far away from North Carolina.
No. And me personally, I've always been interested in camping, and I watch a lot of YouTube campers like Mav and Steve Wallace and a couple other people, and it was always something that I thought was cool, but I never thought was feasible for us because there's a lot that goes into it. And you know, we had looked at a couple different RVs on Facebook Marketplace in Wilmington just for fun, just to see, but we just never really considered it actually until that trip to Sedona.
And also, we were living in Wilmington, and to pay for a house and buy an RV and be gone in the RV and still be paying for a house was just going to be crazy. So we bit the bullet. We moved back home to Shelby. We are currently living, or our home base is in Hayden's parents' pool house, so that way we're not paying for a home. We bought the RV. It was a 2010 RV, and it was very dated. I'll try to put some pictures in here to give you like befores and then afters. And we didn't start working on it until we moved to Shelby because we didn't really have the means to until we moved to Shelby, but this man was itching to work on it the whole time it sat in our driveway in Wilmington. So then we moved home to Shelby in October of last year.
This whole process was very quick. As soon as we went on the trip to Sedona, we immediately started looking, and we had found an RV, bought it, sold our house, and moved back within like a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Yep. Yeah. And for the record, we downsized from our home to the pool house. So we basically, we didn't just sell everything or put everything in storage, but we essentially did put a lot in storage because we were just ready to get out on the road. So we started renovating it October of 2022, and we started our trip in the middle of February 2023. And what finally sparked our interest and made us really push for this trip is that we have been married for over a year now, and I want kids, he wants kids, but neither one of us wanted to give up our dreams of traveling. So we figured when we first started talking about it, it was just going to be a small trip and we would just go a few places. And then Hayden made a very good point about, well, if we're going to do it, we need to go all out because we probably won't be able to do this again until our kids are grown. So we bit the bullet and we started on the road in February.
We toyed with the idea of living full time. After doing it for, I guess it's been about a month now. I don't think it's a lifestyle for us. It's really fun to get to see everything, but you forfeit a lot of things that people don't really tell you because they want it to seem amazing. I mean, it is amazing, but certain things like you barely fit on the toilet to sit down, or you have to touch all the walls of the shower just to use it. And that's also part of our rig, but you know, you also have to compensate. If you get something bigger, it's harder to drive. There's certain places you can and can't go. So for us, it's a cool thing to do for 4 months, and do it once we have kids and go on shorter trips like that, but full time, it's not for us.
At all.
I will say, after we've done it, I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but in hindsight, we would have gotten a different rig. We got the Class C mainly because we have 2 dogs and they ride okay in the car. They've gone on long trips before, but after a certain amount of time, they would get antsy and would want to get out and whine. And so we thought, well, we'll have a Class C. They can run around and not have to worry about that. Well, they've been in the kennel every time we drive, so that's
pointless.
The whole main point of getting the Class C is pointless.
Well, and the other point that we got the Class C was we looked at a Class A, and I knew I couldn't drive a Class A. And in our minds, Hayden was going to be working while we were driving, and I was going to be driving. And so we got the Class C because I thought that would be easier for me to drive. Haven't driven once. Don't plan on it either.
Yeah. And also, Class C's are not great to drive because they're a big box, so they get pushed around the road. We do love our rig, but I say all that to say my recommendation, if you guys are thinking about this, is to rent different kinds of RVs. There's a lot of services out there. We thought about doing it, but we
didn't feel like we had time.
No. As soon as we got the bug, we didn't feel like we had time, and we wanted to go on longer trips, and we were ready to do it. So you can rent all different kinds. You can rent vans that are the Class B's. You can rent Class C's. You can rent Class A's. You can rent the toy hauler. I mean, you can rent everything. So I would recommend doing that first, because if we'd have known now, we'd have definitely gotten a toy hauler.
We've talked about the idea of whenever our kids get older or they're just young enough, whenever we are going to travel again, we probably will look into getting a toy hauler, because like you said, there's more room, because right now it's just me and him and the dogs, and that can sometimes get a little cramped.
Also easier to pull, and you don't have to worry about towing a vehicle. You have your vehicle with you. We really enjoy our rig. Just trying to give some insight to other people that are thinking about it, because it's fun to go in it real fast, but we should have spent a little bit more time. Luckily, we didn't do too bad of a choice. Our RV has done great. We have had no mechanical problems except the tire blowouts. Since then, we've had no problems. But just really take your time and do some research, and don't be dumb like us and just jump right into it.
So yeah, that is us. That is the Tori Hayden love story, if you will. And I suggest, if you are a single person that is really wanting to travel, it is very, very, very important to find a significant other that also wants to travel, because you will regret it for the rest of your life if you do not travel. Or if you travel by yourself, then that's just as well. I guess you don't have to do it with a partner, but I very strongly suggest making sure that if you've ever dreamt of traveling, just make sure you do it to some extent, whether that's just going to an Airbnb or staying in a hotel or getting an RV, whatever you choose.
There's so many ways to do it. It doesn't have to be. We are choosing the most expensive way because we care about safety, and this is the first time we've ever done it.
Yeah.
We've stayed at all KOAs, and we will stay at all KOAs.
Yeah.
But we're throwing money down the drain. So there's a lot of cool things you can do that are local RV sites. You can park outside of a Walmart or Planet Fitness. Just get out there, because growing up, I never thought I would do this. Now, I would regret it if I never did.
I hope you got a little bit more idea of who we are, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. We are open books, so we will let you know anything that you want to know. We'll see y'all on the train. What's up?
We're at the,
We did have our
at the halfway point. There's been a couple behind us that won't shut up. It's so cool though.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it when we get in the car.
We just went to your house.
We just got off of the train. It was really beautiful. I'm sure you saw that. When you go on the train, you reserve 2 seats, but it's at a booth, so there's 4 seats at each booth. We were seated across from this really cool couple. They were quiet, they were older, they were from Texas, so we just got to talk to them a little bit, and then they ended up going out. There was a cart that was open air, so you could go out there and just like watch. And we ended up staying inside because when we looked at the cart, there was a lot of people out there, so we didn't know if we'd be able to sit or what. So that's why we didn't get much recorded, because it would have been a little bit awkward trying to record in front of this other couple that was sitting right across from me.
Yeah, it's also hard to see out with the camera because there's a glare on the glass or plastic, whatever that covering is. So it's easy to see with your eyes, but it's hard to show video.
You would have just saw the back of my phone the whole time.
Yeah. We won't talk about it too much, but there was, I don't know if you heard in the clip, but there was this couple behind us that would not stop talking the entire time. And they were talking, the other couple at that same booth, talking their heads off. The other couple maybe got in 5 words, and they were just telling them their entire life story. And I'm sure, just it will be nice, but I'm sure y'all probably know some people like that they love themselves a lot and want everybody to know how good they do. And so we enjoyed listening to them from a distance, but we are so glad we weren't sitting across from them. So we went and got a couple of energy drinks and a snack, and now we are headed to look at a couple things in the town. The first thing is Skyline Drive, which I'm a little bit nervous about, but it's probably going to be beautiful.
It's very narrow, and there's like no guardrail.
There's also a Colorado Prisons Museum we're considering going to. Maybe not, maybe we'll just see it from the road, but it's one of the lady on the train told us that this town is like the highest percentage of criminals around here because I think the El Chapo prison is here, the guy that killed Jeffrey Dahmer is here, and there's like 3 or 4 other like big name criminals.
She said that there's the most prisons in a state here.
That's what it was. Yeah.
They all have pretty high profile people in them because there's so many of them.
Yeah, and they're, I don't know if we got this part on video, but they're through the whole gorge from where we started the train halfway to got back. There's this old pipeline that she said they used to filter out water from the river to send it to the prison. So the people in the prison had water, which is kind of crazy that it's still there.
They were filtering it because there was alkaline in the water, so they built it in 1907, she said, and it ran until like the 1970s.
So we're headed to that Skyline Road. I forgot the name of it, but hopefully we don't fall off the side of the mountain. We're tired. At the top of this, well, this is the beginning of this trail that we're on, but check this out. It's insane. There's our car down there, and here's the whole town. there too. I mean, it is. We are high up.
Mm-hmm.